friends. Welcome back for some more Kinstretch with the Fitness Alchemists. Today we're going to take you through a shoulder-focused class, shoulder and chest, all that kind of stuff that for me has been really getting gummed up as I'm doing more work on a computer. So I wanted to treat you to some ways that you can start to open up those spaces and make your shoulders remember how to be in a different position and trust you in that position. You're going to need a door frame or the corner of a wall in your house that you can use as some kind of sturdy upright surface. Will serve you well here. Other than that, you won't need any props. So we'll begin standing. Make sure you've got some space to spread your arms out. And we're going to start with some scapular cars, one arm at a time, which if you haven't done those before is a treat. So I'll have Will place one hand on his ribs here. We want to make sure this area doesn't that's a fun word, poke forward or back. And then the other arm, you're going to bring close to your body and do your best to keep a nice straight elbow. So from here, you're going to send that shoulder blade up towards your ear, in towards your spine, down towards your waist or your back pocket even, and then wide across your back. Keep going in that same direction. Up, in, down, and wide. And just do your best, if you're new to these, to connect all those dots. It might feel a bit like a rectangle in the beginning. As you get more practice, it's going to start to smooth out and feel a little bit more like a circle. Just make sure you're breathing in there somewhere. Good. Now pause wherever you are and reverse the direction. Pinch in towards the spine, slide up towards the ear, wide across your back, down towards your back pocket. Keep going, smooth as you can, and searching for as much range of motion as you can. Check in that your elbow is still straight. Sometimes the elbow will try to bend to make you feel like you're getting a little bit more movement from your shoulder blade. Keep circling for 3, 2, and 1. Great, let that go. Switch which hand is doing what. So you can place your hand that was just circling on your ribs, other one long by your side. Take a moment to feel like your elbow is actively straight. You might feel some tricep engagement there. Pack some air into your midsection, nice brace, and begin. Pull that shoulder blade up towards the ear, in towards the spine, down towards the back pocket, and then wide and away from your spine, or forward into protraction. Up, in, down, and wide. Keep going. Keep trying to find a little bit more range of motion, widening, expanding the circle each rep, and feeling what muscles wake up to pull your shoulder blade into each of those positions. You might also just take note of any cracks, pops, twangs that you feel, especially if this is your first set of the day, or heaven forbid, your first set of scap cars in a while. Pause where you are and reverse direction. In, up, wide, and reach down. Good. Keep circling. Just check back in with your body tension. Make sure you've still got a good brace through your midsection. You're keeping your rib cage quiet so that that shoulder blade has a sturdy surface on which to explore its full movement potential. Keep circling for 3, 2, and 1. Serious face. Great. Focused. So now we'll move into the next component of the shoulder, which is that glenohumeral joint, arm bone and socket. So you can stay standing, reinvest in your brace. Take that first arm you're working with out in front of you, wind up as much external rotation as you can, palm up to the ceiling, and then cut across your chest, any amount that that shoulder will allow. And then start to move that arm up towards your ear, being cautious here that the ribs don't poke forward, and then rotate and start to explore the idea of reaching behind you, keeping your t-shirt logo looking straight ahead, and keep searching for more rotation all the way down to the hip, and then rewind. Reach straight back. When you feel that sticky point, pause, unwind your rotation, and come all the way back up as close to the ear as the shoulder will allow. And then as you come in front of the ear, cut across, pull that pinky across, and wind up, palm up. Give me another rep, but now pretend the air just got denser. So you're going to do that same range of motion, searching for that same big shoulder circle. But now it's just going to cost you a little bit more muscular energy to move through the same range. Good. Check in with your body tension here. Make sure you still have a good brace through your midsection. Your legs are strong. You can feel your toes pressing into the floor. Great. And then with your last rep here, I want you to find a spot where you feel like your shoulder car is a little sticky. And we're going to stay there and do a little axial rotation. So just twisting your arm bone in the socket, wherever that is for you. So start that car. Feel into where do I need a little more information about my shoulder. Camp out there. Make a strong fist now. Wherever you are, you might be in a different spot than Will, and start to rotate your arm bone in one direction and then rotate your arm bone in the opposite direction. Keep wringing out this rotation back and forth, one side to the other side. And again, we're thinking about the bicep twisting in the shoulder socket. So you might see the most change at your wrist. But you want to imagine that you have, I drew a little Sharpie X on your bicep, and you're trying to get that bicep to twist in one direction and then twist in the other direction. Keep twisting and exploring for 3, 2, 1, and then just finish that full car. So continue on with the full trajectory of the motion. And as you pass back through that space where you did your axial rotations, just tune in. Anything feel a little different there? You feel like you have more access, less of a no man's land? Maybe a little fatigue? All of those things are possible. All right, we'll do that same thing on the other side. So first rep, wind up your external rotation, cut across the torso, and then start to come up towards the ear. When you find that sticky point in your range of motion, start to twist and then think, can I reach behind me? Might have to go out to the side first and then behind. Wringing out more rotation all the way down to the hip. And then rewind. Good. Check in that you're still braced through your midsection and you're breathing. Second rep, imagine the air just got denser. So maybe now you're carving through our favorite Nutella. Trying to find that same large edges of your range of motion movement. But now it's going to cost you more strength, more energy. Beautiful. As you get back around from that rep, our third one, you're going to stop. So you get to pick your sticky point or your invisible point, and we're going to pause for some axial rotations. Ready, go. Start that regular shoulder car. Anywhere along that movement path that you feel like you need more information, pause, make a strong fist, and then twist arm bone in socket. Rotate. Nice. Wringing out that rotation. Hello. Great job, Will. Keeping your ribs knitted down. Midsection is strong and braced. You're breathing to send help. Keep rotating for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring that back. Finish up your car. Nice work. As you pass through that familiar spot where you stop, just notice what you feel there. And then let that go. Fabulous. Okay, gang. So now you're going to come over to that spot on your wall or your pillar. Well, and I'll switch spots here. And so we're going to be stretching some of the chest and front of shoulder tissues, but with a little rotational bias of the arm bone. So you want to feel like your elbow is pretty close to your waist, that your shoulder is not hiked up to your ear, nor overly pulled down to your waist, but kind of sitting where it goes. And then, so watch just for a second here. If Will's facing this way, right, all of this tissue is allowed to be short. As he leaves his arm bone where he is and starts to turn his chest away, we start to open up some of this chest tissue and anterior shoulder tissue, and we're looking for a bit of a stretch sensation through that, keeping the elbow roughly underneath the shoulder here. So start to find that for yourself. And then in a moment here, we're gonna do our pails and rails. So if the column weren't in the way, so let me move Will just slightly away from the column, his pails effort would be to try to rotate back. So that's arm bone rotating forward, and then his rails effort will be to try to get more rotation, trying to take the hand off of the pillar. Probably nothing is going to happen in terms of movement as we're at our end range, but that's where we'll be. So set your hand comfortably against your edge of your column or your wall or what have you, and then start to turn your chest away so that you find that stretch through the front of the chest, front of the shoulder. Might be a little bit of both, might be more one than the other. All are gravy here. And then just start taking a few deep breaths here to settle and allow those tissues to open up. Take a deep breath in all the way into your belly and a deep breath out. Good. Very nice. Okay. We're not going to hold our passive stretch for too long here. We're going to go right into our first set of light pails. So very gently, I want you to start thinking rotation of the arm bone forward, such that if you had that X on your bicep, it would roll in towards your ribs, which will create a little more pressure of your hand into the wall. Just find about 20% effort of that. Good. And then keep that 20% effort and start to turn it up to about 40%. And then see if you can turn it up to 60%. And at that point, you're going to feel that effort spilling into the rest of your body. So the chest and shoulder were involved. Maybe now the trunk is getting involved. See if you can intentionally get your lower body involved. Squeeze your glutes, press your toes into the floor, and then start to turn up the rotational effort of your arm towards 80%. And we're going to hold right there. Maintain that effort, breathing, pressing, consistent, sending help from your lower body for 5, 4, 3, 2, don't move, 1, keep tension through your body, and now try to find a reverse of that rotation. What would it take to spin your arm bone in the opposite direction, to maybe spread your collarbone wider, but keep your midsection braced? So you see Will's got his hand right in his front here, making sure that stays still. Give me a strong contraction in the reverse direction for 5, 4, trying to rotate 3, 2, stay in position 1, slowly relax. Whew. Good. Try to come back to that passive stretch sensation, but no effort being applied by your body. Beautiful. All right, gang, we're going to do that one more time, slightly shorter set. So take a moment here, reinvest in your midsection staying braced, your feet planted. Start to rotate your arm forward, creating pressure into the wall. Find 20%. Good. 40%. 60%. Feel that effort spilling into the rest of your body at 60%. Get your legs involved intentionally. Squeeze your butt, squeeze your legs. Ramp up to 80% and hold. Maintain. Trying to move your arm through the pillar or through the wall. Visualize that happening for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Stay right where you are, but just reverse that rotation. Good. Maybe cramping something at the back of the shoulder or flirting with that cramp for 5. Whew. Nice job. 4. You got it. 3. Rotate, rotate. 2, 1. Slowly relax. Beautiful. Very, very nice. Okay, last thing before we move on to the other side for this circuit, we're going to find a gentle pales effort. So you're going to find that first, trying to rotate forward or through the pillar. Give me just a 20% effort there and maintain that as best you can. Then we're going to try to move the shoulder blade that's attached to that arm. So you're going to keep your pales effort, keep trying to rotate through the wall, feel your shoulder blade climb up towards your ear, any amount, might be different than before, in towards your spine, down towards your back pocket, and then wide towards your hand or towards the column. And that one will feel a little sticky, so proceed slowly and with caution. Come up towards the ear, in towards the spine, down towards the floor, wide away from your spine. Give me that one more time. Up, in, down, and wide. Pause here and reverse direction. In, up, wide, and down. Do your best. It's going to feel very strange to control your scapula at the end range of these tissues. So you just tell yourself you get points for trying, even if it doesn't feel like a smooth circle. Last time. In, up, wide, and down. Great. Let that go. Come away from the wall. Just take a moment to wiggle out. Great. So turn yourself around and get set up for the other side. As you set up here, your elbow is right under your shoulder and pretty close to your waist. And then you're going to bias that stretch by turning your t-shirt logo away from your hand or away from the wall and allowing the arm to rotate back. And just have a moment here to make sure your ribs aren't sticking out. So your other hand, very handily, can come to the front of your ribs and keep them quiet and give you some extra self-tactile feedback about where those are. Take a moment here to breathe into the stretch that you feel in the front of your chest. Breathing is magic, breathing is life. Check in with your shoulder blade. Is it scrunching up to your ear? Could it settle onto your rib cage? I don't need you to yank it down and pull it down, but I do want it to settle there for a moment. And then as you breathe and allow your chest stuff and your anterior shoulder stuff to open up, see if there's any more turn of that t-shirt logo away from the wall that has become available. Don't force or crank on it if it's not available, but often as we stay in that passive stretch, the tissues will go, oh, okay, this is okay, and then you can move a little bit further. Great. And then just do a quick body scan to see, do I need to put my feet differently so that I feel sturdy and stable and sustainable and powerful in this position? Make any adjustments like that that you might need. All right, gang, we're going to start our first pales effort. So again, pales will be trying to rotate through the wall. Brace your midsection. Start very gently, trying to rotate the arm bone towards the ribs and find 20%, 40%, good, 60%. Feel that effort starting to spill into the greater upper body. And then purposefully get your lower half involved. Squeeze your glutes, squeeze the front of your legs, plant your toes into the floor. If your feet are far apart, you can think about pinching the floor. Harness all of that effort to send to your chest as you ramp up to 80%. And hold. Maintain that effort. Scanning. Can I send more help from any part of my body? Can I visualize myself moving through that column or that door frame for 5, 4, 3, 2, freeze frame your position. Just try to reverse the rotational effort of your arm bone. So now you're trying to make your hand as light as you can off of the pillar, not via wrist gymnastics, because your arm bone is rotating back behind you. That X on your bicep is trying to spin away from your ribs. For 5, 4, you got it, 3, 2, 1, stay in position, but just slowly relax all the muscles involved, all the way down to your toes. As you settle back into passive stretch, maybe a little more range has opened up for you and you can move your t-shirt logo a little more away from your hand. Maybe not, again, don't force, just see if it's there for you. and then we'll go round 2. Brace your midsection, make sure the ribs are solidified, you've got some information there, and then start trying to rotate through the pillar, finding that pales effort, 20%, 40%, 60%, feel that effort spilling into the rest of the body, get your lower half involved, glutes, thighs, toes, pushing into the floor, everything squeezed, ramp up everybody together to 80%, hold. You got it, this is your last strong pales for this tissue. 5, 4, 3, 2, stay in position. 1, reverse that rotational effort. Ooh, this is where that shoulder blade might try to jump up. So really think arm bone and socket, just trying to get a little rotation. Might feel like you can't even access any of those tissues. That's okay, we're gonna come back to them and work on them. 3, keep fighting. 2, trying to close and rotate. 1, and then slowly relax. Stay where you are. Take a deep breath. And just scan your shoulder here. Make sure you're not feeling any sense of threat. If you're feeling nervous, you're a little too close to your end range, and I would want you to turn your t-shirt logo back towards the wall just a little bit, where you still feel some stretch, but there's no sense of threat. Find that place for yourself. Give me a 20% pales effort. So now trying to rotate inward, but that wall is in the way. And then start to move the shoulder blade up, in, down, and wide. Keep going in that same direction. Up, go slow enough that if you run into anything that feels sketchy, you can meet it gently and with curiosity. Wide, one more time. Up, in, down, wide, and then reverse direction. In, up, wide, and down. Trying not to let your elbow kick behind you, yeah? Keep that elbow fairly close to your body. You can imagine you're holding on to a rolled up wad of $100 bills. I don't know why that's always the image that comes to me.
Capitalism.
Capitalism / mob movies?
That.
Yeah, last time. Holding on to a donut hole and rest. Holding on to precious object that you would like to maintain in your possession of your choosing. All right, great. So coming back to our original side, we're going to do a little bit more for the regressive side, for that rails tissue, which can be the harder thing to find. So what I'd like you to do is set up like you did for our stretch. Go ahead and find that maximum stretch place, and then you're going to turn your t-shirt logo back maybe 10 to 15 degrees so that you're no longer at end range. So that when we try to go for that reverse rotation, you will actually get a small lift off or a small leaving of the wall. If on your first one you don't feel anything change, then we'll want to turn the t-shirt logo a little more towards the wall so you actually get some movement. And actually, well, let's have you do your other side first because they'll see more action here. Yeah, I like that. Good. So key things here, gang. As you go, when you get that rotation, we don't want the elbow to change where it is in space. So give me one here, Will. Yeah, perfect. And then do a bad one where your elbow comes off. Yeah. So we want to keep the elbow close to the body. So this is where you want to imagine your object of choice being held between your bottom of your upper arm and your ribs. And then find your stretch, come away from the end just a little bit. Brace your body. The harder your body is working, the more help we're going to be able to send to these very challenged tissues that we're about to train. And then try to rotate such that your hand comes off the wall. Hold and back on. Maintain your tension. Keep going. Rotate off and back on. Rotate off and back on. Rotate off and back on. Keeping the shoulder blade quiet. Rotate off and back on. 3 more. Off and back on. Rotate upper arm bone. Back on. Good. 1 more. Rotate off and back on. Beautiful. Take a deep breath. Whoa. And let's head back to the other side. Yeah, let's do this way. Nice. So find your stretch, turning your t-shirt logo away from the wall, open that stuff up, and then come back from the edge, just about 10 to 15 degrees. Solidify your body, brace your midsection, squeeze your butt, squeeze your legs, and then rotate that arm so that the hand comes off any amount and back on. Might be very little, might be like a credit card swipe amount of lift. Rotate off and back on. Good. Rotate off and back on. Upper arm bonus, doing that twist. Rotate off and back on. Rotate off. Good. Back on. Rotate off and back on. One more. Rotate off and back on. Excellent. Switch sides. Good, so hopefully that stuff is starting to wake up and make a little bit more sense. We're gonna do one more set on each side. Find your end range, finding that stretch, and then back off just about 10 to 15 degrees. Solidify your body. This time, it's the same action. I want you to just see if you can keep more active tension in your full body. So you can take that other hand away and make a fist if that helps you, or you can keep it on as your tactile cue. We've got 6 reps coming at you. Brace and rotate. Back on. Rotate. Back on. You got it. Rotate. Back on. Tiny movement, I know. Rotate. Back on. Rotate. Back on. Good. Rotate. Back on. Last one. Rotate. And back on. Good. Very nice. Switching sides. Good. Turning your t-shirt logo away to find your maximum stretch. And then again, returning about that 10 to 15 degrees. Brace your midsection, brace your legs. Rotate the upper arm to leave the wall just a titch and back on. That's 1. Rotate. Back on. 2. You got it. Rotate. 3. Keep tension through the body. Send help. Rotate. 4. Good. Rotate. 5. Nice. Rotate. 6. Whoo, hoo, hoo. Exciting. All right, gang. Come back to your other arm one more time. This time I'd like you to once again find that maximum stretch. Feel your shoulder blade on your rib cage. So just take one shrug and one anti-shrug to make sure you're settled. And then staying in that feeling of stretch through your chest, we're going to take a neck car circling away from the arm that's pinned on the wall. So brace your body, quiet yourself with a little bit of tension. Start to tuck your chin in towards your throat, nod your nose towards your chest, and then start to trace your chin away from the arm that's on the wall, away from that stretch, and go slow so that you can notice how this affects that sensation of stretch going through your neck car. Tracing your chin all the way across the ceiling, trying to look back behind that stretching shoulder, and then nodding down towards the chin. Let's pass through. We'll continue on for a few more reps in the same direction. Beautiful. Perhaps discovering slightly different lines of tension traveling from your jaw all the way down into the chest and shoulder that are stretching. This is one that I will use just interspersed throughout my day sometimes to give myself a little reset from where my body likes to camp out in computer work. Beautiful. One more time around. Breathing all the way into your belly, exploring your range nicely. And rest. Excellent. Switch to your other side. Planting the hand with the elbow close to the body, turning your t-shirt logo away, open up a sensation of stretch in the front of the chest, front of the shoulder, and then solidify your body, brace your abs, strong legs, start to tuck your chin in towards your throat, nod your nose towards your chest, and then twist your chin away from the stretching arm, starting to draw that large circle with your chin. Good. As your chin comes back to your chest, pass through, continue on in that same direction. Breathing. Slow and smooth. You got it. Let's go one more time around. Three, two, one. Excellent. All right, so we're gonna retest our full glenohumeral car, just like we did in the warm-up. So 1 rep exploratory, 1 rep a little bit more intense, dense air, and then axial rotations in your spot of choosing, just to see how this work has immediately affected the tissues. Keep in mind that all those immediate effects are generally temporary. It's your nervous system giving you a little more permission in the moment to make those changes permanent. We really need to hit this stuff regularly and over time. But it's nice to feel the benefit of our work, right? So stand tall, brace midsection, feet into the floor, start to cut across your chest in external rotation, move up towards the ear. See if that sticking point has shifted any, rotate and start to reach behind you. Maybe that experience feels a little bit different. Keep winding up more rotation all the way down by your hip. And then rewind. Hey, maybe noticing some new sounds. Pops, cracks, as long as they're not painful, we're not worried about them. They're just some information. Joint adjusting itself. Good. Second rep, same movement, but now the air just got way thicker. So you need to carve through it. Beautiful. Really nice work. Reaching back, finding that sticking point. Maybe that has moved. Rotating, coming up and across. Taking note of what you feel. Good. And then choose a sticky spot in your car. Pause there, make a strong fist. And axial rotations. Nice. Seeing what you have access to as you twist the arm bone in the socket. Might feel like there's a little more knowledge of how to do that. Also might feel more fatigued. Keep rotating for 3, 2, 1, and then continue that shoulder car. I'm providing an unintentional hover challenge for Will. And reach back, rotate. Finishing up that last rep. Excellent. Same thing on the other arm. So first one, keep the tension a little bit lower. Use this as your exploratory rep. The cool thing about these cars is that regardless of what you are intellectually aware of as being different, as you run through a car, having done some pails and rails work, your body is uploading and saving this new information. So you might notice some things and notice some sensations, and that's awesome. But even if you don't, the work is still happening. The magnificent organism of your body is making sense of the inputs that we just gave it and sending those up to your nervous system or your brain, your central command. Good. And then for your third rep, you're gonna start your car. You get to choose where to pause. Find a sticky spot or a spot that feels a little invisible or a little out of your control. Make a fist there and then rotate, twisting the arm bone in one direction and twisting the arm bone in the opposite direction. Good. You're working for time here. No need to count your reps. Just focus on wringing out that axial rotation, keeping tension through your body so that you can send help to the tissues that do the rotation. Nice work. Keep rotating for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Finish up your full car path wherever you paused. Continue on from there and make your way all the way back around to the front. Ta-da! Nice work, gang. Keep that one in your toolkit for shoulder and chest love and opening, and we will see you next time.